Sometimes things don't turn out exactly the way you expect them to. People might not be who they seem to be.
Except Con and John.
And simple things,
like our podcast,
could turn out to be far more amazing than you could ever imagine. Submitted for the approval of the
lovely spectators.
I call this story
Hello, boos and ghouls. Welcome to a very spooky episode of Film Frights. I am your...
Sorry, got something in my voice there. I am your fearless ghost, Jono Rodriguez. And with me, of course, is my equally fearless Frankensteinian vampire KonDEAD Heartman. Hi, Konrad. How you doing? I spooked him silent.
He did, and those of you who've been listening to the show for a while know that is near impossible. That was spooktacular job.
Why, thank you.
John. Yeah. Oh, man. I am just quivering in my Chuck Taylors. We have been spooking ourselves silly because it's October, baby.
Yeah.
And you know, here at Film Fights, that is the greatest holiday of them all. The month of October.
The month of October.
That's right. So what's up, Jono?
Oh, you know. Just being scared out of my wits. Because as you've mentioned, it is October, the spookiest of the months.
That's
Why
right.
is it spooky? Probably because it's orange. Anyway.
Yeah, orange is the scariest color. People tell you it's black, but boy, those people have never been around construction workers. They are so scary. They've got their orange vests, and they seem like I'm in their way, and I'm so anxious.
Well, I mean, you remember that scary movie, Wrecking Man.
Oh, my God. Like today, I was walking through an area where there was construction, and they were looking at me, and I was like, "Oh my God, please tell me I'm not going to accidentally walk in concrete that they just smoothed and mess it all up." And they're going to be like, "Hey, come on, get out of here!"
Yeah, because
I just smoothed that over there.
Because they have those signs that say "dry concrete, no need to worry." Not caution. And you're like, oh, cool, I can't wait to walk across this concrete.
This is going to feel real nice. But that is some choice pavement, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Construction Man. I tip my hard hat to you.
Wait, you're wearing a hard hat too?
Yeah, the way it is fashion.
Yeah, this is unrelated to your work. I just want you to know it's a tip of the construction hat to you wearing this construction hat.
Yeah. It's felt, actually.
But it's made to look
Do
like...
not use this on an actual construction site.
You say all that to them, they're just like, pussy. Get out of here.
See, that's why they're scary.
Right. They're like, let me smoke my cigar.
But man, those orange vests are very stylish.
They are, man. And I'm intimidated by it. I wear black all the time like a boring.
Yeah, see, black, again, not scary. Right. I can be in complete darkness. I can't be in orange light, though.
Oh, my God. Wait, you just blew the case wide open. If I woke up in my room and it was completely pitch black, I'd be like, okay, normal. It's the middle of the night. If I wake up in my room and it's completely pitch orange, I am going to be terrified. I'm going to be like, whoa, there's some orangey shit going on in this room right now.
Orange, you glad it's not dark? Wait, what?
Oh, my God, I'm in an episode of Creep Show.
No, Tales from the Dark Side. That's not that good.
Oh, sorry. Tales from the Hood.
But speaking of tales, wait, no, not there yet. Konrad, what do we do on the show? What do we do on this show that's called Film
Frights?
Yeah.
Wait, you said that already. Film Bites?
No, it's called
Vampire.
TV Show Fights.
That's
today.
right. So, as you all know, here on Film Fights, we like to pick two movies and pit them against one another in a brutal grudge match, with one of them coming out on top to reign supreme. However, we are releasing tonight, in front of your very ears, the first of two very special television episode fights Jono and I have chosen 2 episodes from the first season of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And as we've established, I'm not really afraid of the dark. I'm more afraid of the orange.
Yes,
but
we are afraid of Orange is the New Black.
that's right. It's a terrifying show. I don't want to go to jail.
But especially a women's jail.
With all those women, I'm afraid to talk to women. Yeah. I'm going to be like, oh, is my hair right? I'm bald. That's how nervous I am.
Yes, we wanted to go back to the nostalgic time of 1990s.
Yeah.
With Nickelodeon's Are You Afraid of the Dark? We all know the show. Everybody does. It's a national pastime.
Yeah.
And it's a classic. A lot of people can consider this show silly and ridiculous, and some consider it, oh wow, like that actually scared me as a kid, etc. And that's what this show was, especially in the beginning. As it continued on, it became a little more less scary and more what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Much like the Twilight Zone that came before it.
That's true.
But just on the off chance that some of you are too young or too old to remember this, I don't think there's much chance of that. Yeah, this is an anthology series about a group of children that gather in the woods, and no, they don't smoke pot or drink beers. They tell scary stories to each other. It's very wholesome.
It's very wholesome, yes. Yeah. And they're not trying to escape a Pennywise-type clown either.
That's right.
Yeah, because sometimes kids did that back then.
And if there were orgies, they were not... They did not mention it in the show. No, I'm saying they didn't mention it.
This is all behind the scenes. Now... but we picked 2 episodes, technically 4 episodes. Stay tuned next week or the week after that. But yes, we decided to do, normally we try to do franchise frenzies for October. But we decided, hey, you know what? This is something we've been wanting to do for a little bit, is talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, for me, it's Tales from the Creep. Tales from the Crypt, not from
Tales
the Creep.
From the Creep.
No, you don't want to know about the Tales from the Creep, okay? Do not go into the alley near Halstead and Clark. Because you will hear a tale and it will never end.
Let me lick your kneecaps.
Oh, no.
All right.
The
creep.
tale of the kneecap licker. Starring you. No, but Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's such a great show, and the first 2 seasons are just pure joy. So we chose 4 episodes. Stay tuned for the next episode where we will do the next 2, and we'll tell you more about that at the end of the show. But for this episode, I've said episodes so many times. Which episodes did we So Konrad went with...
The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. Yum.
Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. And I chose to retort that. The Tale of the Dark Music, which we are calling this episode Hounds versus Sounds. That's right.
Yeah, let's get to it. Starting with The Tale of the Hungry Sounds. Hounds!
Oh,
Damn
my
it.
God. Take 2.
Tale of the Hungry Takes.
Tale of the Hungry Hippos.
You know what? That would be scary. Hippos kill more people than sharks.
And so does the board game.
Yeah. Look it up.
Wait, you know how they say you're more likely to blah, blah, blah than be bitten by a shark? What if you're more likely to die during a round of Hungry Hippos than to be eaten by a shark?
Okay, I know you're joking, but I would say if more people play Hungry Hippos than go looking for sharks...
Yeah.
Totally. Because, I mean, Grandpa has a heart attack playing Hungry Hippos because, dude, those marble it fucking pisses me off so much.
You could choke on them?
You could, because you're like, oh, look, guys, check it out. I'm the Hungry Hippo. And you go, gunk, 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 gunk. You break your tooth on the marble.
And then you choke on the tooth.
You choke on the tooth.
Yeah.
And then your family helps you and you expel the tooth. And you're like, oh, man. I'm so glad I made it out of that. I need a drink. And then you drink yourself to death. Happens.
Oh, great. I almost died just now. And then your ex-girlfriend breaks it and stabs you in the throat.
It's true. It's a tale as old as time.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. So the tale of the Hungry Hounds. We open, as so many episodes do, at a campfire in a lonely woods. Children teasing each other, saying very contemporary things like, "Nobody here but us chickens."
And yo, MTV Raps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all
Did
wearing
you
like
catch
backwards.
that episode of Yo MTV Raps?
Hey, by the way, do you like that these kids that are like, I don't know, like 11 years old, that their parents are like, "Okay, honey, go at midnight with your
To the
friends into the
woods."
middle of the woods, no adult supervision."
Well, Conrad, it was a different time.
And a different place, Canada.
Yes, where no murderers ever happened.
No children have ever been harmed.
Guns had not been invented yet in Canada.
In the 90s? Oh, gosh, no.
Oh, gosh, no.
They were just like, their parents were like, "Okay, I'm really afraid you're going to eat too many maple waffles or whatever. Beaver nuggets."
Oh, yeah, my son Jean Paul was out last night. He was in the woods with his friends.
I'm really afraid he's starting to get into scary stories.
To tell in the dark.
Yeah, they're always, cutting it up with each other, but you can tell they're like really they love each other,
They're a tight group.
Yeah, everyone in Canada is related, so they were like they're all family,
It was like an Olive Garden, the country.
Yeah, but not Italy. Canada is, what? That is true. I would say that Olive Garden is closer to Canadian food than it is to Italian food. So that checks out. Yeah, but so anyway, girl brings in her dog, and she's like, "Oh, I'm telling the story tonight, and it's about."
She's like, "This is the only way I can get out of my house is I have to tell my parents I'm walking the dog for an hour."
It's like she leaves the house and they're like, "You got to take your little brother with you." They're like, "You got to take the dog with you." "You got to babysit the dog."
The dog doesn't like scary stories unless it's about him.
Which he's in luck.
He's in luck, yeah. Because
she brings this dog that looks like it is dog skin draped over a bunch of hangers.
He looked like a regular hound dog.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like that the dog's name was Elvis? Haha, hound dog.
You know what? I just put that together right now.
Really?
Well, because I was just like, Elvis, that's a stupid name for a dog in the 90s.
Unless it's a hound dog.
And what's even funnier is I swear to Christ, I just remembered I had a dog named Elvis.
What?
In the 90s.
God. That's the only time you can have a dog named Elvis.
Yeah, that's right. It's like how fashion is cyclical. And she's like, "All right, hey, can you help me throw the powder on the fire to make it be scary? Because I got to hold my dog's leash with both hands.
I got to hold my dog's leash because he bites." Especially children.
And when that flame flares up, cover your genitals. Because he knows the smell of them. And he attacks them first.
He does not like fire, but as we all have agreed as the Midnight Society, we have to throw the fucking magic powder into the fucking...
Yeah, it really is like Zelda magic powder. Oh my God. They have to intro what the story's about. So she's like, "Have you ever wondered what it would be like if your dogs were scary?"
I don't have to imagine. Dogs are scary.
Oh, meanwhile, her dog is licking its chops. Looking at Glasses Boy like, ooh.
Ooh, I can't wait to have your face in my mouth.
Take those glasses off, big boy. I'll show you what's up.
I'll show you a good time. Well, for me, not for you.
I call this tale... That's your cue to throw the powder in for me because, as I mentioned before, I have to hold this dog's leash with both hands.
The tail of the scary dogs.
Wait, I'm sorry. Someone raises their hand. I'm sorry. Is that the tail? TAIL? Like this is the dog's tail, or this is the story of?
Yeah, it's okay. So we open on the butt of a dog.
25 minutes later, episode's over. Yeah, so it cuts to these two girls who are in the attic of one of their moms.
Oh yeah, it's never established. Well, maybe it is.
It's one of their moms. The other one's a cousin.
Okay, so they're cousins.
Yeah,
They're kissing cousins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're doing more than kissing.
Well, they're thising cousins because they're.
Yeah, and listen, I'm just gonna say, one of them was wearing pleated khakis and a shirt buttoned all the way to the top. Take that whatever way you like.
And the other one had clothes draped over all of them.
The other one looked like she was saving up to go to Lilith Fair. You know what I mean? That is a very 90s joke.
Well, I always love friendships like this, especially during this time period, because it was always this. You see it everywhere. Teen Witch comes to mind.
Oh, totally.
Where like
very Teen Witch friendship.
Where one of them is like dressed like Blossom, and the other is dressed like a nerd, like a just what is that?
I think
I'm making a hand gesture that's like a waterfall.
He looks like he's petting a very tall cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even mean to imply what I just implied. But yeah.
Is dressed plainly.
Yeah. Like she's just like super nerd.
So what? Yeah. So like the Blossom character is very L.A. and the other one is very
N.A.
My parents have a place in Connecticut.
Yeah, we eat lots of white cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're looking around her mom's attic, and this attic is literally like an antique shop. It's like full of clothes and boxes and mirrors. There are always a bunch of mirrors.
And they're all dusty.
Dusty.
But not actual dust. It's like chalk, stage dust.
We couldn't afford real dust for this set. Yeah. They find a box and they're like, oh man, I wonder if this has my dead aunt's clothes in it or something.
Because there's so much clothes, but they're like, I want what's in the trunk.
I want what's in this trunk. I mean, to be fair, it was a cool trunk.
Yeah, it was a cool trunk. It was locked.
It was locked?
Yeah.
There was a hole in it that looked like it had been dug into by rodents. Mm-hmm. And
it must have been a really big rodent, because we all know that rodents can kind of like shimmy into a small hole, but that hole was huge.
Yeah, this should have been called the Tale of the Hungry Rats, because that's what I'd be scared of. That's nutria-sized. Yeah, and then they're like, I still want to get in this rat trap. And then they're hanging out by some horses. They're literally just, they don't explain.
Like, no. They're just out for a walk because they're like, oh, we couldn't get in the trunk. What's the next thing we could do? Walk?
Walk to horses.
Walk to horses. And Plain Girl, that's what I'm just going to call her.
That's fine.
She's a sweet lady.
Yeah, hey, look, she's just a little girl.
Just
whatever.
Just to streamline it, Plain Girl and Blossom Girl. So Plain Girl's all like, hey, look, there's a horse. Let's agitate it. So the horse comes up. She's like, watch this. And she's about to get on it. And then the aunt/mom drives up and honks her horn.
It's Blossom's aunt, Plain's mom.
Okay. Which obviously the honk makes the horse go nuts and like kick both the girls in the faces and give them bloody noses. No, I'm just kidding. But the horse like runs off. And I saw that. I said, who fucking honks at a horse? Like, what the hell? I know she was honking for the girls, like, hey girls, it's me. But if I saw
you could just wave at them.
Yeah, you could just say, hey, I'm 2 feet away from you. Don't get on the horse.
Also, this was like 1992 or something. Like, that wasn't like a quiet hybrid car. This was like, this is
the old school
combustion.
It was like,
yeah. So, and it come to find out, she's like, you can never look at a horse because don't you remember about my sister?
I call this tale the tale of my dead sister.
And it's a story within a story.
And she throws the powder on fire that's just there.
She's like, I honked when you were by the horse that could have killed you to save you from being by a horse that could kill you because my sister died from horse.
She died from a horse. I remember the day like it was yesterday.
Or wait a minute. Did she die from being horse because she had a fever? I can't remember, but just be careful.
The doctor said it was the worst case of horse he'd ever seen.
At her funeral, we had the choir sing, ride little horsey, go to town. Ride little horsey, but don't fall down.
Credits.
Credits of that story. And now we're back into the main story.
Yeah, that's right. Where she's like, you shouldn't be riding a horse. And she's like, well, you shouldn't let me.
Yeah. She goes, Mom, I'm not going to die like your sister, all right? Quit being such a bitch.
I'm not a little kid. I'm almost 12.
I'm double digits, okay? I can do what I want. And her mom's like, get in the car now, please. They're still nice.
Well, yeah, it's Canadian.
So they drive back home, and she's like, well, if I'm not going to ride a horse, I'm going to get into rat case.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's
well, as we know, as the tier goes, it's like rat case, and then, okay, well, horse. Oh, no horse? Okay, back to case.
Back to case. So then what do? They shoot the lock open with a revolver or something?
Well, it was Dirty Harry's revolver. You know, he was like, hey, trunk.
Are you feeling
Make
lucky?
my
Are you feeling lucky, trunk?
There are 1,092 combination possibilities or 1,093 possibilities.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's a combination lock. They're just sitting there for 2 weeks.
No, but I don't remember how she gets. It doesn't matter. She gets.
Yeah, they open it and smoke pours out because
like a cauldron.
Yeah, thankfully they found the fog machine that they keep.
Yeah, the ancient crank handle fog machine.
Like they used in the silence before they had the talkies.
Yeah. I remember old Charlie Chaplin using one on stage one day. It was louder than him.
And he made a motion that indicated to me there wasn't enough. It was silent, so he wasn't talking to me. Yeah, so she was like, oh my God, there's horsey clothes in here. I love horsies. And
I get the back end, you get the front.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It was a horsey costume.
It was a horse costume.
Yeah, it was like a red
riding
coat, like a British person coat.
Like a fox hunting riding outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she says the weirdest thing. She pulls it out. Her cousin friend, Blossom Girl, goes, oh, it looks like they never washed it before they put it away. Or after she wore it, which is her aunt that died.
Well, first off, Blossom, it's already assumed that there was a rat in there. And second, it's probably just dust.
Also,
it looked perfectly fine.
Blossom, it was the other girl's aunt. So was that your mom? Or was this, they have another sister?
What's going on here?
Yeah. So Plain Girl's like, well, you know what we got to do? I got to put this hot outfit on and see how I look, baby, because I need a fashion upgrade.
Period.
That's right. Oh, God damn it. And she puts it on, and she becomes Scary Girl.
Well, she becomes Monotone Girl. She's like, I have to feed the hounds, but this is a horse story.
And you know how in houses they have like in attics in the roof they have that circular part, that circle in the front of the house that's like
with the wooden slats or whatever.
Guess what? That part, it opens up and now it's nighttime. Now look, I just want to point out it's nighttime, and then Blossom Girl is like, hey, it's not nighttime. Which, first of all, not the weirdest thing about what's happening, but also, I mean, it could be nighttime by then. Like, they got up, they tried to get into the rat trunk.
Maybe she's unconscious from all the smoke. And she, like, wakes up at night.
They went and they got scared and almost died by horse. Mm-hmm. And then they come and they figured out how to open the trunk. It could reasonably be dark in, time past.
Yeah. But I like that she said it, because at first I was watching it thinking, that's weird. It was day just a second ago. I guess they spent a long time in the attic. But then she said it's not night. And I was like, oh, shit. Honey, you're wrong. It currently is.
I think that was in case, because, this is like a long time ago. So maybe it was like, in case any blind people are listening to the TV, I need them to know, it's dark outside, but it is not night.
Why would blind people be watching the TV?
Blind people can do anything they want to do.
That's true.
They
I
can
apologize.
Drive.
They can work construction.
They can work. I mean, I didn't say they could do it well, but they could do it. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Yeah,
blindies.
You go try, little blinder. Speaking of blinders, horses. Okay, so
yeah,
I like for so much of this this show.
I know we're so used to talking about movies.
For like I'd say 21 minutes of this 22-minute show, I'm like, why is this called Tale of the Hungry Hounds?
Yeah.
They've been talking about horses the entire time.
Well, Jono, horses are the dogs of the animal kingdom.
Well, you do ride them.
That's right.
And put sunglasses on for fun. But no, yeah. So she goes into this other world, which is Earth. I will give them their flowers on this. I liked the effect of the reverse side of the window, like the stairs. Although, you can see how cheap the show is because when they're going down the steps, the stairs are shaking. But
like choir scaffolding.
But they framed it in such a specific way where it's like, ooh, that's neat. It looks like a voided space that they're coming down from. And that was cool.
And obviously, we're joking about it because that's what we do here. But this episode did creep me out as a kid, and this show isn't meant for 30, 40 something year old men.
Isn't it though?
Oh well, it is. Yeah, so they get down scary stairs. And
the scares.
The scares.
Down the stairs.
I walk down the stairs.
In this haunted house, you must go up 13 flights of stairs.
Oh, man, you should be writing for the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, my God, are they hiring?
No. It's the same voice they've used since 1968.
Classic.
Yeah, and then they get downstairs and monotone plain girl. Oh, super plain. Like even her speech is plain now.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, first, let me show you the cemetery. This is the cemetery where we're all buried. And she's like, everyone's buried here. Isn't that neat? And then she's like, I was friends with a fox. He gave me presents. And Blossom's like, what the hell are you talking about?
What's going on? Yeah, she keeps not fighting her on it, but she's like, what are you talking? She keeps saying, what are you talking about? She's like being a commentator of this entire situation.
Also, this is something I thought was strange. So obviously French Canada. She keeps calling the fox Mon Petit Rouge. Also, she's saying it wrong. She's saying Mon Petit Rouge. And I'm like, you're French Canadian. Come on.
I know. That's no excuse.
Put in a little effort. I can say it better than Mon Petit Rouge.
Mon Petit.
And she, that's what she called the fox, My Little Red. Come up with a better nickname, stupid.
My Little Red.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just lost in translation. But
yeah.
Anyway, she's all like, these are our graves. I have a fox that's my friend. And Blossom's like, what? And then a scary man comes.
Yeah, pale man, if you will.
Man.
Ooh, he was not on a horse, though.
Yep, he's not on a horse, nor does he have hounds. We're like, where are all the animals that were promised in this
You're
episode?
looking at your watch like, is this going to pay off?
We're at minute 15,
in fact,
16.
If I was the Midnight Society, I'd be like, hey, give me some fucking hounds right now. Is that why she brought her dog? Because she's like, this is a tale called The Hungry Hounds.
Oh, wait, we should note, speaking of which, that in the middle of the episode, it's every episode, it'll be like, Scary Man comes out and he goes, where were you? And then it'll cut back to the Midnight Society and the kids going, oh, what happens next? And Jono pointed this out, but yeah, you're telling a story at a bar.
Yeah, you're telling a story and you're like, so then this man comes up to me and he's like, the hungry hounds need to be fed. And then your friend's like, what happened after that? And you're like, okay, well, settle down.
Shut up and let me tell you.
I'm about to tell you. It's not like that's where the story ends. And I take a sip from my beer and I'm like, oh man, the Cowboys are losing.
Wait, what happens after that?
They don't go to the Super Bowl.
Wait, then what happened? Oh my God, leave me alone.
Who are you? Are you that guy from the alley? Tales from the Creep? So we go back to Pale Man, and Pale Man's like, you should have fed the dogs when they were alive. It's like, whoa, you're talking to a child. I know you're talking to the sister of the mom, but wait, was she also a young kid?
And she's like, I wanted to feed the hounds, Papa. Or
Wait, are they Canadian or
I don't know. I don't know. She went in and out.
It was back then.
It was back then.
Possibly 10 years ago or 50.
Oh, yeah. There's no. Yeah. So that is an interesting thing you bring up. What time period?
Yeah, because the pale man looks like he's like from the 20s or something. But it's like the sister of the ant mom. I'm just realizing the absurdity of
Oh my God,
Ant-Mom.
that's the next Marvel movie, Ant Mom.
No, that's the next like direct to DVD kids movie, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, like Ant Mom. Whoops. It's the tagline. Whoops. It shows a woman in like that classic house dress kind of outfit, but she's the head of it. And she's got groceries and homework or something.
Oh, I'm trying to hang out with my boyfriend, but Mom keeps trying to make me bring sugar back to the Queen.
And she's like, oh, here she comes now. Don't let her bore you with her stories. And she comes in, she's like...
You know, I'll say this for my mom. She can lift 9 times her own weight.
So Pale Man's like, you better get out of here or the dogs are going to eat you. And so Blossom is like, oh shit. And she's like running from these dogs. And she jumps on a bale of hay, and these little, like, they're all little good boys. They're not even like, hey, can we hire bloodthirsty hounds and black dogs?
We don't have those in Canada.
We don't have that. We just have good boys. We have little
beagle boys.
We have wishbone type dogs. Even when they're running, they're like whacking their tails.
You know what's funny? We adopted all these dogs from different shelters. They're all named Snoopy.
And now that we've come to the end of the Hounds of Sound, and after the tale of the hounds, we come to the tale of the sounds. Ooh. Actually, the tale of the dark music.
And we're not talking about Norwegian black metal, folks.
We sure aren't, although, should we?
Yep. This episode is now about Dimmu Borgir, so let's get into it, folks.
Let's get into it. What's with the spelling?
You can't read it. It's made out of lightning bolts on the T-shirt.
You ever see those black metal bands that the name of the band is made out of like roots
I know,
or something?
That's what I'm talking about. It just looks like cracks in your foundation.
It's like that optical illusion where it's like, oh, you have to lay it flat to read it.
And it just says you are a cunt or whatever.
No, it says have a nice day. And you're like, oh, okay.
We went very different ways with that.
Fam, it's time for the dark music, or the tale of, in parentheses, where we meet with, surprise, the Midnight Society.
Oh, shit.
And guess what? One of those kids, the toughest one, Frank,
is afraid of the dark.
Oh no, did he leave his flashlight at home?
Upstairs home, a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also scared of his home, but that's because his dad's a drunk.
No, it's a ghost home. It was bulldozed over, and it's like, ooh, there's a door here still.
They addressed that in the tale of Frank's childhood trauma, but that's
a tale for another time. The tale of Frank's trauma.
That's a different series. That's Are You Afraid of the Bottle? It's about recovering alcoholics who were in the Midnight Society.
It's a documentary. Yeah. Let's talk about this kid. His name is Frank.
No kid is named Frank, all right? If you're Frank, you smoke tobacco, okay?
Well, he was 22, the actor.
He did look like AC Slater-ish.
Yeah.
Like circa,
well, he was buffed.
Circa like Entertainment Tonight or whatever show he was leading, Access Hollywood or whatever.
Access. So the tale of the dark music. The kids, the Midnight Society get together and they're like, who tells this tale? Isn't it the nebbish kid who was making fun of the guy who was afraid of the dark? No, it was a different kid.
Yeah, it's the little blonde poon.
And he was like, I call this tale the tale of Frank's father's sobriety.
And Frank's like, what the hell, dude? I told you that in confidence.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were like confident about telling
Frank's like, you know what? It's my turn. Tonight is the tale of blonde kid's bad haircut. And they just like go back and forth with insulting tale names.
I'm going to tell a tale from the future. It's called I'm going to punch you in the dick. Wait, I've never heard. Oh,
cross eyes.
Oh, like as you go high. Anyway, Tale of the Dark music, fam. This is one of my favorite episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it spooked me as a kid, as I'm sure it did all of you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not you, Conrad. I mean, all of you listening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not all of you encompassing. You're like...
all
you're
of
like,
you in this room right now.
It just felt like when you said, yeah, you thought when I said all of you, you were like, yep, you're talking to me only.
All of me.
Army
it
of
scared every piece of me.
My toes.
My toes, my ears, my mustache.
But you know, my pinky was like, take it or leave it.
I don't buy these special effects.
It's my pinky, like Red Rum style.
Oh, yeah. He didn't like the bleached skeleton that was supposed to be spooky, but it came from Party City.
Yeah. Where's the patina? There should be a patina on that skeleton. Okay?
A patina.
Mandy patina.
Mandy Patinkin.
Right.
So this story is as old as time. It's a nerdy kid who
With
rides
braces.
a bike. Yeah. And
Canadian braces.
Canadian braces. And he, apparently him and his family inherit a house from their uncle.
Would you call it a family? It's just a mom and a sister. There's no dad.
It's a single mom. She's a strong woman.
Oh, really? Not strong enough to pay for his lunch. That's right. He has a paper route to pay for his lunch.
Yeah, they didn't inherit money.
CPS should have been called. They're like, what? You're having to work at 10 years old to pay for your lunch? That's fucked up, kid.
I love that in every shot of the mom, she's constantly doing chores while the sister is playing video games on a machine that I've never seen. That controller she's using looks like a handlebars of a fucking bike.
Yeah, meanwhile, the son is like, all right, well, I finished with school. Now I got to go roof houses so that I could pay for lunch. And meanwhile, his mom is just hammering random nails into the wall and being like, okay, sweetie, your sister's going to be eating Cheetos. I hope you have fun.
What kind of paperboy job is it where it's like you only deliver to these 6 houses on this road during the afternoon?
He like goes to his boss. He's like, hey, Joe, I could really use some extra cash. Can I deliver some extra papers?
It's like, well, these go out at 4 a.m., but I guess these houses you can deliver them later.
I guess these houses you can deliver to twice and we'll pay you more.
Oh, do the customers pay more? No. This is a charity for us.
In fact, these papers, he opens them up, they're just blank. They're just lines.
They're props.
Proppers, actually.
The Daily Proper.
The Daily Proper.
So he has a run-in with the local bully, and by local, I mean across the street.
Yeah, real Dave Mustaine-looking kid.
Yeah, this fucking rocker or metaler, he's a heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
He's got the long, curly, red hair and black T-shirt.
Real into poison, and I don't mean strychnine.
No, I'd say he was more into Demi Booger. Demi Booger.
That's like a small booger, a demi booger.
Yes. No, it's Demi Moore's booger.
Oh, that's worth a lot of money.
But yeah, it's sold on eBay for like $2,500.
Which may not sound like a lot, but when you're having to take a paper route to pay for your lunch, that pays for a lot of chalky milk, okay?
Yeah, that pays for a lot of poutine. From a school cafeteria.
Do you think they're having poutine at lunch at Canadian schools? That'd be awesome, dude.
I think so. I mean, I hope so.
Me too.
So anyway, Andy is his name, and the only reason I remember that is because I see this. I watch this episode every day, but also because the sister says it so like menacingly. Andy, he's like, I need to go into the basement. To sniff glue. No, I need to go to the basement to do the laundry. And he goes down there and he's like, well, I can't do the laundry in silence. Well, I'm not a psycho.
And his mom's like, yeah, hey, do you mind doing the laundry? I'm busy fixing the curtains. And he's like, but I just went to school and worked today. No buts.
No buts, little sister. I'm talking to you, Andy. She wasn't all in the head.
Yeah.
She, I don't know what the mom did for her job. I think her job was to fix up that house.
Yeah. And she's like, I had a fox and he used to bring me presents. Fuck.
Shit. Hounds. So Andy goes down and he listens from a radio that's 1,000 years old, and the music starts to make this medieval times fucking door like shellac open, and there's like glowing lights, and it's like, hey Andy, and he's like, who's there? You know my name, stranger danger, as we were all taught in the 90s. And he says, come on in. And then Andy runs away, breaks the radio, so it makes the demon stop. However, I think he shouldn't have run away so quick, because I think the voice is going to say, come on in, the water's fine.
And let's all be honest, would have been a pretty good gag.
And then the mom comes down, and what does she say about what the room is when they turn the light on?
Andy, it's just the root cellar, you stupid asshole. That's probably just a rat talking to you.
Well, it's funny because, like, look, if, like, I don't care who you are, man, woman, child, adult. If you're talking a rat in your domicile, you're not just gonna be like, it was probably just a rat. Like, she says it so casually with a smile on her face, as if like rats are everywhere.
So first of all, I don't know if you know this, but rat noises don't sound like a person talking to you.
Like a demon saying, come suck my blood.
Come suck my blood. It's a reverse vampire. I want you to suck my blood.
No, but the mom probably is like, he probably said, come suck my dick. What is your problem?
It's just some sexy rat down there. Yeah, so, but the second thing is, if there's a rat, you're right. Her response should have been, oh, maybe there's a rat down here. Let's put out some traps in the morning or whatever.
Yeah,
She's not like, you stupid little bitch, quit being such a wimp.
Well, I think she had better things to do, like sweep the chimney. You remember that scene where she's sweeping the chimney? It's like, you inherited this house. You start with the curtains and you move to the chimney.
Priorities, dude.
Yeah. While the sister plays video games.
I have to go jelly the hallway, so
I've got to go jimmy some closets.
Just smearing jam on the hallway doors. It's probably just a rat, sweetie.
Look at the colors. So because Andy is like all into the basement, he obviously, when he's, above, when he's not sub, he's on the terrain.
Yeah.
And not the choo-choo kind, like the earth. And then he's riding his bike delivering papes. And Metal Boy,
third paper delivery of the day. Make extra
Metal
money.
Boy is cleaning the street.
Yeah, he's constantly scrubbing the stone steps of his stoop.
Like Cinderella. He's Cinderella.
Yep.
And the dad shirtless and with a sandwich.
With like a distended belly. Like not like they didn't get an actor to just be like, hey, you're like, dad bod, take your shirt off and act like. They were like, they pulled a severe alcoholic off the street.
And they gave him like the worst blonde wig and a hat.
They're like, hey, you look like you're suffering from cirrhosis. Will you?
Do you know how to say a couple lines?
And he was like, I'm very thirsty.
Yeah, I'll say anything for a drink. Yeah, well,
I'll do more than say a line.
He wasn't even supposed to have that sandwich. He grabbed it from craft services, and the director's like, was that in the script?
Yeah, he walks in with like a hoagie.
Like, he doesn't, mind you, lovely spectators, he's not coming out of the house. He's approaching the house, which means he was on the lawn with a sandwich. Bare-chested.
Bare-bellied, classic, like, cartoony sandwich.
Wearing boxer shorts and barefoot.
He was wearing jeans.
No, he was barefoot. I remember.
I said jeans, not shoes.
I don't remember that.
But yeah.
All right, well, anyway, yeah. He was wearing jeans, barefoot, with a sandwich, and he goes up the steps, stepping on his work, by the way.
And what does he say?
He says, he says, yeah, that's right, you stupid fucking kid. You better clean those fucking stone steps or you're not going to get your allowance.
Yeah, he says, you got to earn your allowance in this house, kid. And then he like pukes on the stairs and he's like, hey, why haven't you cleaned up that puke yet?
He's like that big fat guy in The Meaning of Life, the Monty Python movie, where he's just eating and spitting it back up. He's like throwing up in his hair.
Yeah, and the kid's like, I don't even know who that was.
I just like cleaning these steps. I'm so metal. And then what should happen? Poor Andy throwing his newspapers or his news proppers. He's throwing them and he accidentally, oh no, hits him in the head. Paper lands in the buck. And splashes up on his golden red curls.
Uh-oh. That's cruising for bruising.
That's
right
cruising
there.
for bruising, and he gives him a bruise in the eye.
I think this time he just says, hey, listen here, Mac. Next time you come around my neighborhood when I'm scrubbing the steps, I'm going to make you wish you never came to my neighborhood when I'm scrubbing the steps. What do you think of that? You're the scrub. He's already gone.
He's like, I live in the neighborhood. It's our neighborhood. Next time you come to our neighborhood. So he yeah, that's right. He narrowly escapes him, but the next time he sees him,
he wasn't so lucky.
He wasn't expecting him. And so he's like, hey, nice day for a ride, huh? And then he swings at the air, and then Andy falls down and has a black eye.
Well, what Andy was doing was he very cleverly ascertained, oh, if I take a dive, then he'll think, oh, even though I didn't feel my fist connect, it's probably because I'm so strong that I didn't even feel. It's like punching
playing
a feather. Yeah,
I see.
But unfortunately, it doesn't work because you just sock him in the face.
Yeah, he picks him back up and socks him in the face. And it's the same sound effect. It's hilarious.
That's like when they shoot someone and they die and they shoot him again just to make sure.
Yeah, John Wick style, baby.
John Wick style, that's right.
So yeah, he punches him and then he takes his bike. He's like, this is what happens to nerd boys who mess with me. Throws the bike. Now, here's the deal.
This is what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps.
This is what happens when you fuck somebody in the ass. He throws the bike, perfect timing, as a dump truck is driving by. And let me tell you, dump truck driver, what the hell? You drove over a bicycle and continued to drive away.
The dump truck driver's probably like, that idiot, that the trash doesn't go in front of my truck, it goes on the sidewalk.
He's like, yep, another Tuesday running over kids' bikes.
God, if I had $1 for every person that thought the trash goes in front of my car and not behind it.
Boy, I would have a few bucks.
I have at least enough to buy, to buy a cup of coffee. Doesn't happen that often, but more than it should.
Where are you going? Who are you saying that to? Your partner died years ago.
Yeah, this becomes the tragic story of a dump truck driver with dementia.
He rolls his window down. He's like, let me tell you, this is called the tale of my partner, Jimmy.
Magic powder.
The tale of the chicken wing dare. All right. So anyway, fresh black eye. He's all feeling pretty down because he has to pay for his own lunch. Got beat up by the guy.
Yeah.
Has to deliver props.
At least he's got a sweet laundry to go home to.
That's right. That's the only song because then he gets to catch up on his music.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the world of modern music.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's just generic music that's all like, it kind of sounds like this.
This is the scary music. Oh, now that's some laundry fold music right there.
So anyway, yeah, it's like it's just. It sounds like it sounds like a dad practicing in his garage because he used to be in a band when he was in his teens. He's just like, yeah, I still got it.
I drink light beers and I play guitar. Only 2, though.
And the neighbors come by walking their dog. They're like, oh, hey, Jim, you back at it again? And he's like, yeah.
It keeps the mind sharp. You know, my dad died of dementia. Where are you going?
The tale of the dementia dad. The tale of the dad who repeated himself.
I would love if these episodes just went off the rails into deep, more and more stories.
Yeah, it's an inception.
You're like you're 5 stories deep.
When you get to the end, it just like snakes back. You get like whiplash. So he's listening to music, and then a paper mache doll comes out. And she's like, hey, Andy, you want to have sex?
And he's like, well, it's 1992, so this is the hottest sex doll I've ever seen. Yeah, she looks like a giant Cabbage Patch doll made out of paper mache.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I could be into this. He's like, I could be into this. And he reaches for her doll hand.
Oh, that's right.
And then the mom, of course, she's like, hey, Andy, are you down there? And he doesn't respond, so she's like, I'll just turn the electricity off. That's your solution.
Well, if he's down there, he'll scream as soon as I turn this off, so I'll know he's down
because
there.
He's afraid of the dark.
Yeah. And rats, apparently, that pussy.
And so, like, it turns the music off, and the doll's like, ah!
Oh, yeah, the doll
Sucked
looks
back
like it's
in.
like the prop person, or like the person behind it just like jerked it back as fast as possible.
The door shuts. Like, what's the rules in this? Because I get that, like, the music starts playing. So the first time it's, come on in. It scares him immediately. But the second time it's like, it's luring you. And it's like, oh, that's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to lure you in. Because the third time, it's the carnival man who's like, come on in. And once he's almost got him, he decides, now I'm going to scare the shit out of him.
And turn into a skeleton.
With the bony hands that are like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. He's like, oh, what's going on, kid? Come on in. Ha, 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 ha. He's like a carnival barker.
Oh, okay. So back to what are the rules of this?
Yeah.
Does he get hypnotized by it? Because, like,
that's what I'm saying.
The first time it straight up was just like, come on in, baby.
Yeah, come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah. And then the second time they're like, okay, I got to be a little like more sneaky like. So how about this weird ventriloquist Cabbage Patch doll? That almost worked. So instead of trying that again, let's try if it opens, there's a whole ass carnival happening. Like there's a tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah, the budget of this demon just went skyrocket.
Yeah, right. They're like, all right, guys, this is our last shot. We got to pull out all the stops.
But then they oversell it, and he turns into Bones. But also a Bones that can suck him in. Like, well, again,
right.
The rules. Like, what's the powers of this thing?
Yep.
And so Andy's like, oh, I have nothing to grab onto except the radio. He pulls it unplugged. And then he goes, music.
Right.
It must be the music. And then he's like,
this is a different radio. But.
And he needs to go find his mom to tell her of this amazing discovery. And where does he search for his mom? Outside near where the neighbor is who's going to beat him up.
Maybe she's banging the alcoholic belly dad.
I mean, he does have a sandwich.
And that's true. And they are clearly hungry.
Very. And so he gets beat up and he's all mad and he's all like, ooh, how can I take my problem and my other problem and make them a solution? I know. I should trick the bully into being eaten by my fucking basement
He's like,
demon.
Bully? Sandwich? You eat sandwiches. Bully likes music. When you play music, the demon wants to eat you.
He's like, I know what I should do. I should be the Pied Piper of this town. Come on, all the bullies follow me around. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, that's basically what he does, right? He walks up to the bully and he's like, hey, fuck you.
No, he has to act as bait. So he goes to the bully and goes, I'm doing math. I'm a nerd. The bully's like, oh, I'm going to beat you up so bad.
Well, look at how I'm eating my sandwich with the crust cut off and mayo's getting on my glasses. The bully's like, I can't, as a red-blooded bully, stand for that.
He goes, I've been thinking about getting ballet lessons. And the bully's like, he's just turning red.
Oh, do you see my jeans? They're at least 3 inches over my feet, my shoes.
Oops. Oh. I hope a flood doesn't come. Wait, maybe I do.
Why does this take on a coquettish sexual thing?
And the bully. I joined the drama club. Don't blame me because I know how to play chess.
And the bully's like, this is kind of turning me on, but it doesn't matter. I got to pound you.
He's foaming at the mouth. And so he chases them to their storm drain, or their storm cellar, basement.
The root cellar.
The root cellar.
Wait, the root cellar is a cellar within the cellar, by the way.
Yes,
I looked it
that's
up.
Right. So he locks them in with a rickety broom, and Metalhead is like, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, yeah, and he has it rigged, so as soon as he turns on the electricity...
Oh, see, hey, that's good storytelling, first off, because they establish that switch controls just that one outlet, not the lights.
Right. It's premeditated murder, by the way.
Yeah, and so that is true. So Columbo would have a say in that. So he turns the electricity on, and it's all like...
And supposedly Rock Guy is like, I can't take this rock music. I'm actually a poser. I listen to yacht rock.
I listen to Yaz.
I'm usually actually a Michael McDonald fan.
And so the demon comes out and I guess eats him to death with red lights.
Yeah, which, by the way, it seemed like it was a lot easier for the demon to eat this guy than it was for him to eat Kiddo.
Well, I think the more intense the music is, just like in real life.
Oh, the easier it is to eat a child?
Yes.
The kid's like, tight, I just got the bully eated. And he goes downstairs.
What? Yeah, and the demon, he plays like the music, but like soft music. He's like, I won't get it. And then the door opens and the demon's all like, hey, I'll give you anything you want if you feed me your sister. And he's like, I'm going to Disney World.
All right, well, Jono, we went to Houndtown.
And we went to Soundtown.
And we saw the sound clown. Nope.
Nope.
That's not it.
That's not it.
So, Jono, after watching these two pieces of 90s nostalgia horror, what do you think? Hounds or sounds?
Hounds or sounds? I mean, that's a good question, but not an uneasy answer. I got to go with the Tale of the Dark music as my pick because what the fuck, man? It took forever to get to those hounds. They got to the music real quick in this one. No, but just like it's both have like a good atmosphere, but I think the dark music was scarier, if not silly. But I mean, when you're like, I can't remember who said this. I heard like a comedian or something. I watch a podcast or something where they likened the logic of Are You Afraid of the Dark as, oh yeah, it's not scary at all. But if you were in that situation at that age, it would be super scary.
Sure.
So I think, seeing a rat be like, come on in, that would scare the crap out of me.
Unless you're in a Disney movie. Because then he might cook you dinner.
Yeah. So, Konrad, what did you pound the sound with?
Man, that silly science room skeleton man with the straw hat was something else.
He could have been senator.
Hounds creeped me out as a kid because I thought a lot about getting eaten by hounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but upon rewatching, I got to agree with you because, first of all, should have been called The Tale of the Scared Horsies because they were the real enemies all along. The hounds were just doing their job, which is eating and scaring foxes.
Yeah.
And yeah, dark music, it really had a dark ending, and it was the most like a kid version of Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypty kind of thing. Yeah, and it was great. So I'm going sounds also.
Sounds, baby.
2 for sounds.
2 for sounds, just like the things that you're hearing in your ears right now.
Sounds abound.
Sounds abound. Don't be lost and found. Well, you heard it here, folks. It's the Tale of the Dark Music that is the winner of this first part of Are You Afraid of the Dark Side?
That's right, because, folks, we got another one coming up, so stay tuned if you want to hear Clown versus Wizard.
That's right, Clown versus Wizard. What episodes are those? You figure it out.
But while you're waiting, make sure you rate, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to podcasts. Also, drop us a line at battles@filmfightspodcast.com. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and on Facebook at Film Fights Podcast. Please.
Whoa.
All right?
You're so angry.
Do it already.
You're so angry about being polite. Please.
Yeah, we've got lots of spooky, scary, funny surprises.
We sure do, because it is Shocktober.
What is Blocktober?
Like when celebrating Blockbuster being a ghost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Can you imagine being haunted by the ghost of Blockbuster?
I can. And we also have our 50th battle coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Just to be clear, we've done way more than 50 episodes.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is our 50th battle.
Yeah, and maybe it's actually 52 or 48. Who cares?
Yeah, shut up. It's our 50th battle,
It's
all
our
right?
50th battle, and it's a big deal to us. So that means big deal to you. That's just simple math, guys.
I'll just say it's Big Trouble. We're not doing that.
We're not doing Big Trouble. We're not doing Big Liar, and we're not doing Big Trouble in Little China. Because Big Trouble's a movie, too. Never heard of it?
Yep.
It's about a guy named John, but not that John. And he goes on an adventure that is very small at first, but then he meets a wizard, and the wizard says, "Hey, do you want to buy a watch?" And then he says, "Bye!"
You know, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I've already had 18 shots of tequila and an 8-ball, and I just need something to get my head screwed on straight so that I can feel something again that isn't nausea. You know what they say about men like me? They have cirrhosis, and that's pretty cool. Stay thirsty, my friends.
You know, I don't always drink beer. Because when you're mainlining cocaine the way I do, you really don't... What? Stay thirsty, my friends.
I would also like to add that I'm not married to Dos Equis. I'm very thirsty. I take whatever you give me.
Dishwater.
Dishwater?
Dishwater that had a little alcohol spilled into it.
My friends, you may not know this, but if you leave dishwater out for a long time... That's it. Just trails off.
Like it ferments.
It gives you a rocking buzz.
You know, I don't drink from the bar mat often. But in a pinch. Do you see where I'm going?
I don't always drink hand sanitizer, but when I do, it's a Quate brand because you can get it at the Dollar Tree with food stamps.
they consider it food.
All right. Thirsty? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right, no, seriously, here we go.